and we actually need to start thinking about doing things drastically different. And what's going on with travel? What does it mean if we run a school if people can't meet? It's just a bizarre thought.
Actually a school with 600 students, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Hello, thanks for clicking on my video. My name is Jörg and I am program director at a vocational school in Sweden called Hyper Island. Hyper Island is a school for creatives of all kind. UX designers, motion designers. Sorry, I have to pause my notifications here. So yes, Hyper Island is a school for UX designers, motion designers and all kind of digital creators. Due to the coronavirus crisis, we decided last week on Monday to pull all our educational programs into an online setting. So to move the whole school, both here in Karlskrona and in Stockholm, into an online setting is of course a challenge. And this video is not about what the coronavirus means from a bigger perspective. It's about what it means for a school like us to pull all educational programs to an online setting. Yeah, it's about sharing our experience and the challenge and feelings, and give you some tips also if you are in an equal situation where you have to work from home or study from home, or if you are a teacher or a facilitator of any kind. Maybe this video can give you some inspiration about how you could do things. Oh, I just realized my background is a little bit messy. So I will start with tidying up my home office. Hello! Tell me about this experience, like the first day, how you felt and what you did to make that happen as a managing director of Sweden.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I have digested all of this yet, but a couple of weeks ago, when we realized that we need to pull out and take the dust out of those crisis plans, and we actually need to start thinking about doing things drastically different, and what are the trends out there that are happening, what's going on with travel, what does it mean if we run a school if people can't meet? It's just a bizarre thought. So we just had to roughly start sketching, okay, so what does it mean? What do we do? And then because we planned it so well, when we actually did it, it was more like, all right, yeah, let's do it. We kind of got the clue that this is the time. And then we said, let's start Monday. And that was last Monday.
Wasn't there any, weren't people very stressed and so on? Was it really such a smooth ride?
I'm not sure if anything is smooth at the moment, but what we have seen in Hyper Island is that when people come together and decide that, this is what we have to do, you just pull your sleeves up and do it. And I think everybody have just left their, how do I feel about this? Park that a little bit, because we've just seen that this is something that we're just going to have to do it.
Is there any difference in working remotely or studying remotely?
I don't see the difference because it feels like I am working and that we are actually working with companies, and I see that, what's the difference? Like, we are communicating with a company and we are doing and delivering a concrete thing for them, and we are using tools and that we are studying with. So I don't see the difference there.
How does it feel to study remotely? You can stay on pajamas all day, that's the good part. I'm kind of missing my classmates though, but otherwise it's all good. You can stay home and be cozy.
You're together online, you're not in the same room, but you can still feel the inclusion. I've been able to experience that with several of my teams, and when it does work, it's incredibly cool. But of course, you need to put down a bit more effort and have your camera on, for instance. Make sure you speak and speak out when you have something to say. So yeah, it does work, but it creates a lot of work.
One of our guidelines guiding stars, team is everything. What do you think does that mean in a remote setting?
I think it means to be accountable, that each and everyone is trusted to be accountable for applying the helpful behavior that we have agreed as a team. No one can get through this alone. We have to do it together, and your team is your closest partner. So let's join forces.
So, tidying up, going to work in the morning, brushing my hair, these things are important, as well as 3 o'clock plank o'clock. 3 plank o'clock. So we're doing all together a plank for more than a minute. Let's check it out.
On here. Okay.
I want to warn you, I'm documenting this.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Wow. Thank you, this was great. Woo. This was today's plank o'clock, 3 o'clock. Very good exercise.
Hi, Jörg.
What are you doing at Hyper Island?
I'm heading methodology globally. There's so many tips and methods. So I think one of the most important things is to consider your workspace. Think about how are you going to set up your space to support your success. So number 2, this one is one I admit sometimes I have a problem with, but know when to log off. Even if you need to put it in your calendar, this is something that can be very challenging for remote workers and studiers. You can get emails 24/7, so you need to be able to manage that, turn off notifications, remind yourself to log off. And also, on the flip side of that, you might want to remind yourself when to log on. So you have the bookends of I'm starting at this time, I'm ending at this time.
Number 3.
Get dressed. You want to dress and groom yourself as per usual, like you're going to be going to the office. It's very easy to stay in your pajamas or your sweats. It's not a good habit to have when you're doing calls with your clients or your students or your colleagues. Keeping up routines can be a real boost to your mental health and also, to your energy. Number 4, take deliberate breaks. So you know when you're going to start, you know when you're going to end, but you also need to schedule in some break times for yourself. Okay.
Number 5.
Okay. Number 5. Get your lighting and your sound right. Minimize those distractions. Mute or close your notifications. And maybe get a good desk lamp, a good LED desk lamp that you can move around, that can angle. And, simple things like don't sit with the window behind your back. And if you need to, wear some kind of headphones like I'm wearing, or a more fancy pair, so people can hear you and see you.
Do you hear me loud and clearly?
I do. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you see me? Ooh, that's a really good one.
Do you have any advice when it comes to facilitating online? What's the difference?
Well, I think when you're facilitating online, you need to remember to use a lot of those skills that you're using in the room and face-to-face with people online. Remember to create a space that people can step into. And that could be, using use an icebreaker, use your check-in questions, think about the questions the same way you would in the room. Where do you want people to have their attention during the time they have with you online? You yourself need to be super present with. So the more present we are, the more present they will be. Don't forget what you're doing in the room and think about how you're going to do that online before you get online.
So what is our checkout? Do you have any suggestion?
Our checkout could be one thing I've learned about working remote these last 7 days.
What I've learned, structuring my day and having the feeling of I go to work. What is your?
Well, I'd like to say +1, but I also realize how much I miss the human factor of seeing everybody on a day-to-day basis. So I really try to make an effort of calling somebody up, an extra video call or just seeing each other instead of just randomly chatting or sending messages like that. It makes a difference.
Have a good time. Bye-bye.
For more tips, of course, we have a collection of links, Brian's toolbox to other things in the description below.
Amazing. Thank you, Jörg.
So that's it. I stopped the recording.
Cool.